Hello, and welcome to another Dokkan battle video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at one of the longest waited EZAs in probably Dokkan history. This guy has been on the back burner for an EZA for a very long time. He was formerly the oldest character to not receive an EZA in just like in history. I think I'm pretty sure there's no other character that has gone as long as this guy has before he EZA'd, besides maybe like in LR Bojack or somebody like that. But this guy's really old. He's finally gotten his EZA, and I don't think they handled it correctly. Now, by the way, this event is weak to transformation boost, so you can just rock in here with a cooler team and just absolutely destroy it, and it won't be a challenge whatsoever. But yeah, talking more about this VEGITO, I have like some significant problems with him. I feel like they didn't give him enough. It feels like what they did with Int LR Gohan, because that was a character that had a very strong meta point that we were like, yeah, this guy was really good right here and was like dominant for a while. But with this VEGITO, right, I feel like we are in a bit of an issue here, where he can be good. He has the capacity to be good, right? Given he's around scouter characters, and I feel like that is not something that we have very prevalent right now. Like, who's a relevant scouter character? Bardock, who you're not running him with. There's the Carnival STRLR Goku, but then that's after he gets hit 10 times, so are you really going to be able to run him with him? No, not really. There's Ginyu, I guess. He's a scouter character. But I think we would really want to see, for both this guy and for the STR Super Buu, we would really want to see STR VEGITO and Physical Buhan EZA during the celebration, just to make both of these guys a lot better. If that happens, I could actually see this guy moving significantly farther up on my like ranking of EZA TURs, because currently he's good, but he's not anything special. Like, I wanted him to be AGL Blue Gogeta tier, and he's more like Physical Broly, which is not something that you want to hear as a brand new EZA TUR. You want to be like, oh, he's absolutely crazy, oh, so much fun to character to use. And this guy, like, he's just okay. The good thing about him, though, like when he's fully built up, which isn't very hard to do, just getting hit a bunch of times, he can actually put out some like pretty okay damage. But I don't think he's literally ever going to take damage from normals in this game. Like, I could see him tanking normals for like another 3-4 years. The problem with that is he would have to pretty much completely avoid super attacks for the rest of time. And I just feel like that's not very reliable. If they would have given this guy a scouter, like, say if he had literally the exact same effect as the LR Carnival Goku, where after a certain amount of hits he gains a scouter, this guy is significantly better, and I'm talking way better, because then he won't ever have the problem where you run the risk of this guy just eating a super attack and just absolutely exploding. And that is going to happen as of right now, since there's not very many relevant scouter characters to run with him. He's gonna get smacked by a super attack. It's gonna happen. You're not gonna know when it's gonna happen, and it will happen frequently, because that's the risk that you make with these counter characters. Like, especially with this guy who wants to get hit, you're going to put him in harm's way in order for him to counter and for him to get hit and build up. And either the first attack or the last attack is going to be a super, and he's not going to live it. And that's going to happen more often than it's not. And unfortunately for him, his base defense is kind of pathetic. It is nothing to really laugh home about. He's just like, it's like okay at best, the defense, where he should be out here absolutely obliterating the game, and he's really not. So like, I would say definitely avoid using this guy in any event that can super attack more than once, like Broly, Dokkan, or Red Zone Cell Max, the regular Cell Max mission. Who else? I mean, even in the first half of the Metal Cooler Core fight, if he gets hit by the Metal Cooler Core super attack and gets his defense lowered, he's not making it out of like the full core. Like that's he's dying to those super attacks easily. right? And the metal cooler core, like specifically when it's like the giant core, right? Say like that thing super attacks right away, he might even take damage from the normals, because that guy's normal attacks are ridiculously powerful and are not something to just be played around with. And I feel like this guy is probably the definition of fuck around and find out in terms of TURs, because you're going to want to place him in harm's way in order for him to get the counters. And then this is what's going to happen. They're going to super attack immediately, and he's going to literally melt like paper. It is going to happen frequently. Watch. I'm literally telling you. The second, say, Truth, Minato, Goresh, any of these guys, if they make a video on him, and they're putting a, even like probably Nano, Diddy, all of these guys, they're going to make a video. In that video, this guy's going to get caught by a super and literally fold in half. It's going to happen, and then we're all going to be like, the mid. But the main thing about here is that, at the very least, he's not taking normals for a very, very long time, and that's fine. I think that is okay of him to be like that. Unfortunately, I wish he was just a tad bit better. Maybe just a little bit. I also feel like his actual raw damage is a little low, because I've seen a lot of his attack stats at Rainbow, and he like barely breaches like 4 or 5 million. So it's not anything crazy. He does have like that minor support buff on his super attack effect, where I believe he gives what 25% attack and defense to the entire rotation, which is like fine. But like, who cares, right? When he's gonna explode. You're not like, you can technically put him in slot 1, and if he gets a lot of counters before he attacks, he has a very high chance of getting an additional super attack. So you could potentially give a lot of stats to the rest of your rotation, but you're also running the risk of him immediately getting supered and getting absolutely folded in half and exposed like the fraud that he could be. And that's something that I'm not excited for, right? I wanted him to be crazy. I wanted his super attacks to do like 8 million. I wanted his counters to all do like 1.5 million. Just crit counter, crit counter, crit counter. I wanted him to be crazy ridiculous and just destroy this game, but unfortunately they didn't do that. I think literally the best way you make him is give him higher start of turn. He doesn't have any start of turn attack, by the way. He still has no start of turn attack buffs. That is something that they definitely should have fixed. They should have given him something at the start of turn for his attack. They gave him start of turn defense. They just for some reason decided that he didn't need start of turn attack stats, which is like something that you want on a counter character. So I don't know why they would have done that, but they did it, so we're kind of here. Then give him a little bit more attack and defense when he supers. That way, when after he super attacks, all those counters are going to be going crazy, right? Give him the scouter after he gets hit a certain amount of times. That way you know exactly where to put him. That way you can fully maximize his counters and get those crits and make it so that he's doing tons and tons of damage to the boss. But he just kind of doesn't do that. They gave him a bunch of crit in his passive. Yippee. We already have him with like 50% chance to crit anyway. Who cares? Right? He needed more defensive abilities besides just his 80% damage reduction on normals. Like, he needed a little bit more than that. More raw stats, give him a scouter, and he would have been perfectly fine. Right? If that was the case, he might have been in contention for that top like EZA TUR slot. And unfortunately, as it stands right now, he is just not there. He's just not. So that's tough. Maybe if STR VEGITO EZAs he could be, but as of right now, he's just fine. Like, you're probably still going to run him. Maybe not in like Red Zone Cell Max or anything like that, because they can super attack too many times, so there's too many options for him to get caught out. But I do wish he was just a little bit better. I feel like they could have done him a little bit better here, and it would have been significantly improved. They definitely sacrificed a bit of his passive to give a lot to like Buhan and Buiklo, but man, I just wish he was just slightly better than what he is right now. Anyway, let me know how you guys feel about him in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.